Hi guys. So today is Saturday. I have one girl still sleeping in my bed. So you see my bed is kind of halfway made and halfway not. And then I have another girl downstairs, I think probably watching YouTube videos. So my son has just passed out. We have gymnastics in a little bit here, and then we have our father-daughter dance today. So I'm so excited. Later, if I don't post this prior to that, I will take some pictures and insert them at the end of the video so you guys can see how cute. I'll probably add some to Instagram as well. But for now, I'm just going to do some makeup. We are going to meet for breakfast because I'm not trying to make breakfast. Which was actually their dad's idea, which is great, because I'm not trying to cook breakfast or dirty up any dishes this morning. Okay, so let's get my face started. No idea what I'm going to do today. I have like a crap ton of palettes in front of me, so we'll see which ones I go in with. The Pat McGrath ones are kind of calling my eye this morning, so I may play with those, which would give me a darker eye look because they don't really do natural. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll probably go with dark eye, neutral or natural look, and just call it a day. I'm not going to the daddy-daughter dance, the father-daughter dance, which obviously I don't want to rain on their parade, but I will take a lot of pictures because they're going to be super cute. Okay, so I'm going in with my Real Technique sponge. I got my new flower sponge too because my kids like destroyed it. The Flower Beauty sponge, I love that one. So I need to like start actually using it. Okay, so I'm going in with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Just gonna go ahead and make sure it coats my face. I apply it to the sponge directly, just because I don't like to dirty up my hands. But I know a lot of people, and it was really cute because if you watched our video from yesterday, the girls that did our makeup, which was my best friend's daughter and my best friend's daughter's boyfriend's daughter. That's a mouthful. But they are so adorable, and they were totally adding it to the back of their hand and putting it on, which is how most people do it, so they don't put too much on the face. Me, I'm like, oh, extra product, I'll just blend that in. But the Born This Way, it looked really pretty. Like, so I've used it a couple times this week already, and I forgot how much I really did like this stuff. So it gives you kind of full coverage if you need it, but it's really buildable to full. Like, you'll still see some red spots underneath. So I'll add some concealer. Last night, can I tell you how cute my girls were though? So like after we were done doing the video and like just having fun with it, Kayla and Alyssa both did a makeup video in my room right at this spot. And like they legit did their own faces. Like, it was kind of cute because some of them, like, not some of them, well, Kayla was like putting on primer like after powder and foundation, like, so like the routine, but they're like, I think, is this what we do? Oh, I did that wrong, but it's okay, like, it still looks pretty, look how good this looks. Like, it was so cute. And the confidence that kids have, like, I wish that everybody had that amount of confidence. Like, the world would just be a better place. You would tell everybody that they're amazing. You would feel like you're amazing. And I just feel like we need more of that in our world. And then last night on Facebook, to give me a chuckle, my Aunt Susie, who lives in Texas, I believe she lives in Houston, Texas, or close by. She's the coolest person in the world, and I haven't seen her since I was a kid, but I just love her. She's amazing. And last night she put this post and tagged me in it, what she would look like if she was the opposite sex, right? So obviously she's a female, and what she would look like as a male. And she's like, oh my gosh, Doug, which is my stepdad. Oh my gosh, like, it's like 10:30 at night, and I'm literally texting my mom and Doug this picture of what Susie would look like as a male, because Doug and her look like they could be twins. Like, it was hilarious. So then we got into the, oh, well, what would Susie look like, or what would Doug look like if he was Susie? So we got a picture of him, and we made him into a female, and sure enough, he looked just like Susie. Then we did my mom and I, who always have like full faces of makeup. as a male, and oh my gosh, we look like we belonged at the circus, like the main attraction, like the bearded lady type of thing. Like that was the both of us. It was bad. Okay, so I am just applying the Tarte Shape Tape, just some little triangles. I'm going to put a little bit more on the nose because, again, I didn't build this to full coverage, and I just want to make sure that that stays settled. And to highlight kind of the inwards of my face, since I'm going to be putting the bronzer there, so it'll look a little bit more defined. Okay, so go back in. I used to always reach for like the smaller sponges when blending this out, but like within the last month I've really just been using the same sponge, and I really like the effect the smaller sponge does because I think that it does a better job. However, with bigger, obviously you can cover more space and you can get more done in a shorter amount of time, and I'm really liking that. So that's why I've been doing that. I probably at some point will go back to using my smaller blenders, because I really do like that effect on the look. I think it does a better job blending, but that's fine. Like this brightens up that area and all of that, so it does its job. And I have like a piece of lint stuck to my face. Don't worry, I got it. It's gone. And we have gymnastics to start us this morning, and then that father-daughter dance, and Devin is going with his dad. They're both getting haircuts. Chris is cute. He's like, well, I have to look good if I'm going to take my girls. I was like, oh my gosh, how funny are you? So their appointments are at 12:30. Gymnastics is at 11. Right now, what time is it? It is 8:52. So I had to get my butt in gear because I'm going to have to wake them up, make sure they're all dressed, teeth brushed. We'll go to breakfast, we'll go to gymnastics, we'll go do haircuts, I'll come home, I'll get the girls ready. Really, right now? I thought me and this mirror were good. Like, all of a sudden it wants to do the light up thing again. Like, okay. Oh, my eyes are watering. I don't know. Okay, so if you guys have eyes that water, the most frustrating thing to me is like when I'm going to do my makeup and say I do like a full eye look and they start to water and then like my eyeshadow like gets all messed up, and that's just not cool. Not cool. It's really cute because Graveyard Girl, I don't know if you've seen any of her videos, but she is amazing. Bunny Myers, is that what her name is? I don't know. I don't know if that's a real name, but I know that's the name. Like on YouTube, it's Bunny something. It might be Myers. But she, I think is amazing. And I feel really bad because obviously she's going through a time in her life where she's trying to figure things out because she has lived her life on YouTube for several years. And the way that she got started on YouTube, you'll have to really go see her story, but it wasn't just because she wanted to play with makeup. She was in a position where she didn't have a job, and she, you know, began doing these videos, and, you know, she's self-made. Like, she did a great job. Like, she has that whole program, like, does this thing really work? And it's, like, so awesome to watch. Even my kids like her because she'll do, like, unboxings. I watch her, obviously, like, for the makeup, but she just seems like such a genuine person that's a little bit lost. Like, I want to be that girl's friend and just give her a hug. And I mean, granted, I'm obviously older than she is. I mean, she might be in her 30s. Maybe I just feel like I'm older. But she seems like, I don't know, she's just in that position where she takes everything to heart. And I do that as well, but not as much as I used to. And people can say things, and, you know, I used to let it eat at me, and I think that's what's happening with her, is like people will judge her and her channel and all of this stuff. Well, it's hers. Like, do what you want, girl. Like, people will watch you. And she's worried about like subscriber views and, you know, and all of that, and she's trying not to be. But I guess it's hard to not look at that kind of stuff, you know. Like with me, I appreciate views, like I appreciate the likes, but like I'm really doing this because it's fun. Like, I love makeup, and so many people are like, oh my gosh, you should, you know, get on video, can you show us how to do that, or come do my makeup. Well, let me just tell you something. Doing someone else's makeup versus doing your own makeup is a little bit different. And I have done my friends' makeups, you know, and thankfully they've liked it. You know, some of them, you know, maybe have not and just lied to me, which is totally fine. But so many people are like, you need to get on and like show people how to do this. And I'm like, this is just playing to me. Like, I'm not an MUA. I'm not an artist. I've never gone to school. I've never any of that. And I know a lot of YouTubers aren't. They just get on and share. And so that's what I figure I would do. With Bunny, I think it's the same way. Like, you know, she was doing other stuff, and she's such a smart girl. That it like kind of breaks my heart that she's worried about what may happen. And I think it's because she's making a living off of YouTube that, you know, yeah, that can be frightening if you have these people that have watched you for all this time and then your subscriber count's going down or you're getting less views and you're like, what's going on? And you're freaking out. And what kind of videos do people like to watch versus what are they watching now? Okay, so I'm going in with the Anastasia, the Precisely My Brow. I'm just going to draw that out a little bit. I'm trying not to open my mouth like a crazy person, but I'm sure at some point during this video, during my, oh my gosh, see my eyeballs watering again. I swear, even if I cried for like a day straight, my eyes would still water. Like, it just wouldn't run out. Like a gusher of water. Yeah, this mirror, I don't know where this one came from, but the girls found it and they're like, Mom, remember when you gave me this? No, I don't. Half the stuff you say I give to you, I don't think I do, just because I've given you so much over the years that you're just like, I'm going to take what Mom's not using. I don't know. They probably don't do that, but I'm just saying. Oh my gosh. But last night when the girls did our makeup, like, I was so proud of them. Both of them did such a great job. And it's so funny because I swear, like, last year we had them, both Gracie and Natalie did mine and Bethy's mom's makeup when Bethy's mom was over here. Like, we had Nikki over and everybody was playing. It was such a great day. But they had done our makeup last year, and wow, what an improvement, like, year over year, like, to see the growth of what these girls are doing. And granted, they are wearing makeup now themselves, not a ton of it, but they look just gorgeous, you know. And at 13 is a standard age for a lot of kids to be wearing makeup. Some parents make them wait longer, and some are like, oh, you're double digits now, you can start to play. I always let my kids play with makeup, not necessarily do I let them walk out of the house wearing makeup. Like tonight, I'll put a little bit of makeup on them because they've asked me to and do their hair. But they're going to a father-daughter dance, so it'll be very subtle and very pretty. Nothing like a full brow and eyes or anything like that. It'll be a little bit of shadow, maybe some lip gloss, maybe some blush. I don't know. But yeah, like, it's so funny to me that, you know, these kids are growing up so quick that, you know, they had no interest in makeup, and then all of a sudden, you know, here they are being able to do a full face, just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so there's that. So I think I might go in with the brow today if I am doing a darker look. So the pencil obviously deepens up the look just a bit. The brow, and what I was telling Natalie last night, because she does the Anastasia dip brow. So with Anastasia, it's just the little pop. Like, you don't get the little brush. And granted, this is kind of a weird little thing, right? But so you get the pot from Anastasia. Where is mine? I think it's in my drawers, which is fine. But Cabral comes with this little bitty brush and this, so it's really hard for me to lose it since it's the top of it, which I think is genius. And if Anastasia had a way of doing that, I may use that more often because I tend to love that product too. Is it called the Brow Wiz, I think, which is her brow product in pencil form. It was okay. Like, I just felt like it was too hard to really do much with. So you can see, like, I just added a little bit of the brow. It deepened up that brow very quickly. I don't know what I'm really doing with the shape of my brows today, but we're going to rock with it. It's okay. I just feel like they're very angled with not a lot of arch. So let's get this party started. Once brows are on, everything else I think should go a little bit quicker. I understand now why a lot of people that do these videos have their brows already on. But with me, like, I cannot do foundation after brows. Like, no way, Jose. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, in my mind, it doesn't go there. Okay. So, it's fine. That's what I'm rocking with. One's bigger than the other. They're sisters, not twins. So many people say that, and it's so, so true. My eyeball needs to stop. Stop it, please. Okay. I try not to use, like, a tissue or something like that because it's just going to wipe the makeup off. Where a beauty blender kind of subsides that a little bit. But it was funny because maybe, is that how I got talking about the bunny thing and the Graveyard Girl? So, like, in one of her videos, she had some other YouTube guy, which I didn't really know of, but I guess he's popular for, like, helping and doing his own channel and going and helping others to, like, make sure their channel is still doing well. I don't know. Maybe that's not what he's for, and maybe that's just what they were doing for Bunny. But he visited her, and she was, like, full out, like, just letting it out there and getting very personal, and she was crying, and she reached for a beauty blender instead of a tissue, and I was like, oh my god, that's genius. Like, I would do that every single time that I busted up in tears. Like, if I'm here on my makeup table, I do reach for it already, but, like, I don't think to bring one with me, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I may have to have one with me at all times now, just in case. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in case my eyes get watery and I'm not even crying, they're just watery or whatever. Just because it's genius. And even if I just bring the small one with me, like, it gives me something. So I don't know. So, okay, Marc Jacobs again. I'm just going in, warming up the face. Not doing anything dramatic. I am adding a little bit more product so it looks a little bit more bronzed than just a light hand. But I'm not going to go in with a darker bronzer today. I'm just going to use the Marc Jacobs. I feel like at some point I will hit pan on that too, but hopefully today is not that day. Okay, so let me kind of check out the eyes. Okay, so I have 2 of the 3. Maybe there's 4 now. I don't know. But these are the are they Decadence? This one's the Mothership palette by Pat McGrath. Let's see that. I bought that for that green color. That green and that gold. And this one is also the Mothership. So maybe that's the hard part with these. Like, they don't really have names. The palettes look identical. Like, on the outside, they're exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. And on the back, exactly the same thing. So, like, one's a 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. I don't know. But it's really hard. So I think I may just go in with this one to play with that green and see what happens. So if I'm playing with that green... Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I have this Milani blush, which is just kind of a light wash. It's that Tea Rose one. So it's just handy because I never put it away. So we're just going to use that for now. Give me a little bit of color, but not an overwhelming color. See, my instinct was to look for an orange. Or a peach. Peach is more correct than orange because you're not putting orange on your face. Okay. There's that. Alright, and highlighter. It's cute because I still have the Becca Champagne Pop that's out. But I think I might go in with the Jouer one. Let's see here. Yeah, we're just going to go in with Jouer today. Again, Skinny Dip is the name of that good stuff. I'm just going to use a fan brush, dust that all up in it. Gonna have to call Chris here too and be like, oh, well, are you still sleeping? What time are we meeting? Because if we got to get the girls to gymnastics and it's 9, and we still got to go to breakfast. What's your guys' favorite breakfast food? Like, it was cute because he's like, I'll come over and make pancakes. I was like, dude, I'm doing keto. Like, I can't have those. I cannot have those unless they're keto pancakes. So unless you're going to Pinterest that, figure out how to make it, I'm going to have some eggs and bacon. Do you guys have a favorite breakfast though? Like if you're not keto, I'm actually a little jealous because you can have whatever you want. Maybe pancakes are your favorite. Like my son is obsessed with waffles. He loves those things. Okay, so that's on and done. So now I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush. What one's this? The Sonia Kushak. Can never say that. You can just buy these at Target. She has, you know, several good brushes. Some of them are just okay, but for the most part, they're pretty good. And, you know, reasonably priced. For Target, not really, but just in general for eye brushes. See, this eye, though, like, I don't know if it's going to stop. And this is, like, the only frustrating part, like, when you are doing makeup, that some of the stuff's out of your control. So it's like, is this going to ruin it? Is this going to ruin the look? So this is just kind of an ivory type shade or a beige shade. So it's more just to put it down. Oh, I didn't put any, dang it. I didn't put any primer on my eyelid. Bad, Melissa. Obviously the colors are going to look more pigmented when you have a base down where the color can stick to. I mean, I do have, you know, foundation down, but I don't have actually eye primer. Okay, so that's just the wash of color. I'm going to go in with this Morphe 441. I'm going to go into the color right next to it, which these don't have the names of the colors either on the packaging. So it's a little irritating when I'm like, you know, someone's calling me and they're like, oh, like, hey, remember that eye look that you did? Which normally I don't, but if they, you know, are calling me and asking me and being like, what colors was it that, again, that you used? If it's a palette like we both have, not a lot of people have this one. I think just because it's a little bit more pricey, which I totally understand. I really just wanted to try them and I really ended up liking them. So I ended up getting both of the palettes, which obviously there's more and you could have bought the collection, but I wasn't about to drop $500 on a collection of eyeshadows. As is, I already spent too much money, which I don't remember how much they were, but I'm sure you can go to Sephora's website. And the irritating part too is because these are so expensive, Sephora, I've gone to 2 or 3 of them where I was looking for these palettes so I could swatch them and see like if they really were like worth the bang for the buck. And they don't have them out on display. Maybe in LA or something like that they do, or New York or, you know, something, but I'm not from there and I'm not going there to swatch a palette to see if I'm going to buy it. So I had to buy these online and they're very heavy. Like these palettes like are heavy. Like they feel like they're definitely, you know, high-end palettes, but like my arm is already starting to be like, oh my gosh. Like, oh my gosh, are you going to put me down? What's going on? Okay, so now I think what I want to do is kind of play with this color next to the green. And just kind of still go in, but with a smaller brush in that crease line. In the crease. Yeah. And again, it just gives it a little bit more definition when you go in with a little bit darker of a color. So this color isn't too dark, but I'll show you kind of, see how it just makes a little bit of difference. One thing I really do like about these shades too is they blend really well. It's kind of effortless, which is great. Like other palettes that tend to be a little bit more reasonably cost effective, you do sometimes have to put in a little bit more work, but then sometimes you don't. Like those Morphe palettes, like there has not really been one that I'm like, oh man, this sucks, like ever, which has been amazing in my eyes, in my opinion, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've tried out my fair share of shadows and I'm not disappointed in Morphe at all. And they have a wide color selection, so you really could, like if you were starting to build your collection and you wanted a wide range of colors to play with, that's definitely something that you could do. Is just go in with that. So I thought I was going to, I don't know what I was going to do. I wanted to play with that green, but now I just kind of want to go in. See, I change my mind all the time. Okay, so I might darken up the the outer corner with these two and play with those, and then just put this right on the inside. That green I do love, obviously, because that's why I bought the palette. But now I'm just kind of thinking something a little different. So we're going to go with the something different and see how it turns out. Okay, so I'm going in with a Luxie 231 small taper blending. We're going to go in with the color that was right next to the one that I was in and go right here. And we're going to go into the V area, the outer V. But I'm going to, for the most part, bring that almost halfway on my lid space. Because black is the color that's on the going to be the very small outer V, just to deepen it a little bit. I don't know if you guys have put black under like a shadow before. I'll do that one day just so you guys can see what a difference it makes, like with any color, like especially if you have like a shift of color. It's so pretty, and it just changes the dynamic of the shadow, which is so cool because it just gives you so many different looks that you can play with. Okay. I think half of my eye and half of my eye is hard to find sometimes for me. Like, is it there yet? Is it there? And then I'll go too far on one, then I won't go far enough on the other. And it's like, aren't I using my same face to try to judge that? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna call it quits there. And I'm gonna go in with just a small little itty bitty guy. This is an It brush from Ulta that I picked up. I think it was probably like in a set. I really like the It Cosmetic brushes. I haven't found one that I haven't liked yet, which is awesome. Okay, so just the small outer V is all I'm doing. And then I'll show you this eye to that eye once this is done. So you can just see it just kind of deepens the outer part of that eye just a little bit more than this one. Not too bad, but it kind of brings it down and it deepens it. So I'm going to do that on the other side. A lot of people are afraid to like play with black in their shadow. But sometimes it's just an easy way to darken up any look. Like if you're trying to look for like a smoky eye and you've done everything and you're like, it doesn't really look like a smoky eye. If you add just a little itty bitty black to that outer corner, like guaranteed it's gonna look a whole lot more smoky. Okay, so there's that. So what I may do is do kind of that cut crease. I was just gonna lay the shimmer down first, but I think I will go ahead and go in and do cut crease, which was really cute. And actually I probably wouldn't be doing this if Natalie didn't do it yesterday, just because I don't do these very often. And a cut crease, all that means is that you're putting down concealer on top of your shadow, because it's going to allow whatever color you put on top to really pop. So I'm just going with the Tarte concealer, same thing that I used on my face earlier, and I want pretty much up until that half of the eye where I met. Okay, I kind of went a little bit further over, which is fine, so I'll do that on the other side. But guys, cut creases, like you can work on it, like if you want it to be perfect, like you literally can spend a ton of time doing it. I tend to go in with a little bit smaller of a flat shader instead of like the larger ones, just so I feel like I have more control. And sometimes if I am doing like a halo eye, a halo cut crease, I will go in with an even smaller one, because then I really am just bringing it right up to the middle of my crease and down, and it's the middle section. So it's dark on this side and dark on this side, and I just want it bright in the middle. Today I'm not doing that because I want kind of that brightness from the inner corner out. Okay, go in on the other side. we'll do that other eye. And you can go in with as much concealer as you want. I tend to not go in with a ton because I don't want the transfer of the concealer all the way up on the upper eyelid space. And I noticed the more product that I put on, the longer it takes to kind of dry down, which you don't want it completely dry. You still want it tacky to hold whatever shadow it is. But I definitely have noticed if you put too much on, like, you know how I cake my face in foundation and concealer, if I do that on my eye look, it transfers up above and then you're kind of screwed. I mean, you can still fix it, but it's just not as easy to fix. Okay, so I'm going to go in with that shimmer shadow right here. Just to put it on the eyelid. I am not putting any MAC Fix Plus or anything like that down on it yet. I'm not saying that I won't go over with the second layer and do it, but for right now, I'm just putting the color down. And you can notice this is like an iridescent shimmer. I'll get up close when it's all done, but it definitely has like a pretty shift to it. So like when I am out in the sunlight, it will catch that, which will be very pretty. See, I haven't played with these palettes in a while, so I'm kind of glad that I'm doing that today. So I don't know if the camera will pick up the shift, but it's just a very pretty color. It's so funny too, because the shadows, like when you're indoors versus outdoors, sometimes that color can change, you know what I mean? Just like when you're putting on your lipstick and you're like, oh, this looks great. And then you go outside and you're like, it's okay. Or, oh my gosh, I think it's okay. And you go outside and you're like, wow, actually this looks fantastic. Good job. You know what I mean? And kind of doing that patting motion just to make sure it covers all of that space. And then once I feel like all that space is covered and dried down, I will go ahead and go in with a little bit more shadow and then spritz it with that MAC Fix Plus, just to see if we can get it a little bit more high shine. Yep. Just a little. Oh my gosh, guys, for real, like this eyeball and we are having issues. This one not so much, but I figured just because I'm rubbing in that area, I should probably do a little bit more. Okay, I have to ask what everybody's favorite like eyeshadow brand is. I'd like to say Morphe is mine just because I haven't had any issues with their eyeshadow products. But I don't hate on these either. I don't hate on actually a lot of them. But I think probably Morphe is my ultimate favorite brand. Yeah, I just love their shadows. So what is like your guys' go-to? Like for some people, I know a lot of people that the Naked collections have been like their all-time favorites. I'm just going in to this shade here because I'm going to go up above my crease real quick and blend all that together. And then I'll go in with that darker one on top of it in just a minute. I just want it to look like it's cohesive. But yeah, I totally want to know what your guys' favorite brand is. It could totally be a brand I haven't even tried yet. Like, I was really impressed with that Pinky Rose brand, and then I found out that they were actually local. There's one in Sacramento and one in Elk Grove, and I was like, what? Like, I ordered this online, and so I was really excited. Their stores are awesome, and I was just like, what? Why did I not know this? So it was kind of that darker color that I told you I was going into. I'm just going to go into that right above, but a little bit lower than where I was. So yeah, like I'd love to hear, because it might be something I haven't tried yet and I could give it a shot or a try, because I really do like trying new products. Like, it's from a YouTube video that I tried kind of those off-brand products and I fell in love with them. Like, I'm down to try anything really, just for the fun of makeup. So I like to experiment with different things. Okay, so I think I might bring this color too down on my lower lash line. That's the color that I was just putting in my upper crease. So let me play with that and see how that goes. I'm gonna go back to that It Cosmetics brush to use black on it. So I'm just gonna swirl it on my little swirly thing to get that black shadow off. And then go underneath. I don't think I need to add another color to this. I was going to, but I think this color is kind of just fine on its own for underneath that lash line. Why do I feel like this side's a little bit darker? It just needs to be blended a little bit more. I don't know, I still feel like it's darker. There I go with the open mouth. You guys see that? You catch me? You catch me? It's hard not to do it. I don't know. See? Like my mouth, I don't know what causes you when you were doing your makeup for your mouth to just want to drop. Like it just goes, nope, not doing it today. Okay, I feel like it's really dark in this area. That's probably where I took off some makeup on accident. So I am just on both sides real quick gonna add some more Tarte Shape Tape on the small beauty blender. Again, this gives you a more precise when you are going under. So for that, I'm not gonna go in with the big one, especially since I already have a shadow down on the lash line. And I will just kind of go in to each of those corners and blend out. And hopefully at some point that eye stops tearing. See, and I'm already seeing both of them now go. Like, what is going on? Ooh, now I'm super bright everywhere. Whoop, whoop. It was a little bit brighter on the other side because I did use a little bit more. I am going to go ahead and put some powder right on top of that to just set that so it's not wet on my face. Powder I'm using is still that peach powder from Too Faced. Okay. Okay, sometimes when you start, you just can't stop. Okay, so I'm just gonna add some mascara. I'm going with the Essence because it's just right here. Again, it's one of my favorites, so I always have plenty available. And I need to just go on their website and buy a whole bunch more because I go through these like they are like Mentos or something. I don't know. Maybe Tic Tacs. I go through a lot of Tic Tacs lately. Okay. Also, if you do have like somebody who is a little bit younger starting off with makeup, like you'll notice like in the video yesterday, Gracie's like, oh, well, what you gave me on her birthday, I went and bought her makeup because she was into it. And I really made sure like she had like a starter kit. And if you're not trying to break the bank, but you want like good products, I mean, $5 guys, $5 for this mascara. I know I talk about it all the time, but it's just so good. Like, and that's not going to break the bank. It's going to give you something to give to somebody else that, although it's not a high-end brand, once they put it on, they're going to see like, oh my gosh, like maybe I don't have to spend a lot of money on makeup, like, and I can get what I want. And I think it's kind of funny that I'm using a $5 mascara with like a $200 palette, $150 to $200 palette. I don't know. I don't remember anymore. But see, now I'm curious. I want to look up the price of those to even see if they're selling them still. Maybe on Sephora's website. But it just goes and shows, like, you don't have to do high-end, really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could have done a Wet n Wild shadow, because some of those shadows are good. Or that Milani, like, really am enjoying some of their shadows. Like, I can do that with an eyeshadow look, and I could do a whole face within a reasonable amount of money. Like, I don't need to use, like, my girlfriend yesterday was telling me that Essence made actually a foundation that she picked up that she really enjoyed. Makes me want to go buy it and try it and see how well it is, because one, our skin tone's very similar, so that's awesome. And then we also have that same issue where makeup tends to break up on our nose, which is why I've been putting kind of that highlighter on it, so it kind of masks it being super red, like 2 to 3 hours after I put on my face, which is awesome. So, and her face looked great after a full day of wearing that foundation. So that's something that I'm definitely interested in. And I didn't even know Essence made foundation. I feel like sometimes my lashes are bigger on one side than the other. Okay, so we kind of played with some color today. I went a little bit darker, not anything crazy. Again, that green probably would have been fun to play with. See, I'm shitting myself for not using it, but I do overall like the eye look. So something fun, easy to do. You do not need to go and buy yourself a Pat McGrath palette at all. Just don't do it. Like, I'd recommend it if you have extra money to burn. They're good palettes, but it's not something like, oh my gosh, you need to have this in your life. Your life will be so much better if you have this, because that's definitely not the case. What did I do? I literally just had, so there's my lipstick. Okay, I'm losing my mind. Losing it. Which is fine because it's been lost for a while anyway, so I guess I'm not losing it today. It's just always been gone. Did I put it in with my brushes over here? I pulled out a MAC liner because it was one that I hadn't used in a while, and it was like a neutral color. And now I don't know where I put it. Oh, no, that's a MAC eyeliner. Okay, whatever. I guess I'll find it later. I'm not too worried about it. I just thought that it would pair nicely with that MAC lipstick that I got. And watch, as soon as, like, I'm done with this video, I'm going to find out exactly where it is and be like, okay. Okay, so I'll just use this one. This is the Kokie one again, the Mauve Nude. The Kokie brand, I'm becoming more and more impressed with it the more and more I use. The one liner that I used one day was like really rough because it was the first day that I used it. And what I've noticed, like, I thought that one was maybe just a bad one. Or was it the IBY Beauty one? I don't remember. But like this, it's nice and creamy now. I think it applies the pigment very well. I really do enjoy the Kokie brand, which I believe they're just now recently out in stores, which is fantastic. Okay. Is that free MAC lipstick that I got? Oh, no, it's not. It's Appy. This is ColourPop. This was not what I was going for either. Oh, I got it on my face. It's fine. Maybe I'll put the Delish on top because that was more of a shimmer anyway, which is what I was going for, that MAC lipstick. Okay, ColourPop is on. I actually do really, really like this color. It's called Appy, A-P-P-Y. My MAC lipstick in Delish. I'm going to go ahead and just apply that on top since I wanted to use that earlier. Just gives me a little bit of shimmer, nothing crazy. And then I will go ahead and go in with my MAC Fix Plus to lock and load. Okay, so first off, that smells amazing because it's fantastic. I'm going to fan myself with the BH Cosmetics thing just because it's here and it's light. But yeah, like that MAC Fix Plus is my favorite. I'm so glad that they came out with a different scents. This sounds so silly, but I want to get myself the, which one is it? The lavender one, but lavender tends to put me to sleep, like just that scent. Like there's something about it. I'm just like out. So I'm a little scared to use it, but it's something I could play with on the weekends just to see. Maybe it'll just relax me all day. And if that's the case, hey, I might be switching that out for the coconut. I don't know. But the coconut makes me feel like I'm someplace tropical. Yeah. Okay. With that being said, I am done. My hair, I will take down at some point, more than likely. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave up and rock it because, again, I'm not going to daddy-daughter dance. I'm not really doing anything other than going to breakfast and hauling my kids around. So with that being said, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, afternoon, wherever, whoever you're with. Have fun with them. And I will talk to you guys all later. Bye.